stay there. Stay a little longer in that silence. Don't rush to fill the void with noise or people or distractions, because in that empty space, something extraordinary is happening. That's where your real self begins to emerge, slowly, awkwardly, like a seed breaking through the soil. It's fragile, yes, but it's also true. Every relationship, whether romantic, platonic, or familial, is an invisible exchange. You give a piece of yourself to feel like you belong. You mold yourself, chip away your edges, polish your roughness just to be accepted. And sometimes, without realizing it, you begin to hollow out. You lose your spark, your essence, your soul. On the outside, everything looks normal. You smile. You show up. You say, "I'm fine," even when you're breaking inside. You laugh when it hurts. You remain silent when something wounds you. You pretend you're okay, just so others don't feel uncomfortable. You become a version of yourself that's easier for others to digest. But there comes a sacred, terrifying moment when you simply can't do it anymore. The act becomes too heavy. The mask begins to crack, and the persona you've carefully crafted no longer holds. And then life, in its infinite, ruthless wisdom, begins to strip away everything that isn't real. It doesn't ask for permission. It just starts unraveling the illusions, and you're left with the truth, raw, unfiltered, and sometimes devastating. What hurts the most about losing people isn't always the loss itself. It's the shattering of the fantasy you built with them. It's the realization that they didn't love your essence. They loved the performance. They loved the version of you that was convenient, agreeable, useful. And that realization cuts deep, but it also liberates you. Because once the mask falls, the false begins to disappear. And with it, so do the people who were only drawn to the image of you. The you that made them feel comfortable, not the real, messy, evolving you. The ones who stayed out of convenience, routine, or what you represented, not out of true connection. And what's left? You. Just you. Exposed, raw, honest, but also strong. Ready. Finally prepared to connect with others from a place of truth instead of performance. Jung once said, "The persona is a system of adaptation to the world, but individuation begins when we stop being what others expect." And this is the beginning of that journey. The path of truth. The path of relationships without masks. The path of love without the sacrifice of your soul. At first, everything that breaks feels like a disaster. A relationship, a friendship, a bond you thought would last forever. It all shatters, and you stand there, surrounded by the wreckage, wondering if you can survive the weight of it all. But let me tell you something, from the deepest part of my heart, no breakage comes without a revelation. What falls apart, what disintegrates, shows you what can no longer hold. And that, my friend, is not failure. It's clarity, a painful kind of clarity, but clarity nonetheless. Have you ever felt like you gave everything, your time, your love, your energy, and still it wasn't enough, that you emptied yourself trying to fill someone else, and in the end, all you were left with was your own silence?